Hello, this is Miss Kelso. Just going to go over some basics of how to use the NaNoWriMo site. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the site itself. Now, one word of caution, make sure that you are on the Young Writers Program site. There is the regular NaNoWriMo site, which is for the adult writers. For that challenge, it's 50,000 words, and I don't have any way to see what you do on that site. So make sure that you're on the Young Writers Program. So what you're going to do, you can type in YWP for Young Writers Program at NaNoWriMo.org. Make sure that you see this helmet and this logo here. Okay, so this is the one where you're going to set it up so that you're in my classroom so I can see your word count, and you can also control how much your word count is so you can put in the amount that you want rather than doing the full 50,000 words. Okay, so make sure that you're on the right site, and every time you go to log in, make sure you go to the right site. So you're going to hit, of course, sign up. When it says select your role, you're going to be a young writer. Now, I realize, of course, that some of you may be over 17. Unfortunately, they don't take that into account, that students in high school might still be 18 or 19 years old. So if you are, we're just going to ask you to be a little creative here as far as your birth date. So you'll put in your birthday, but for those of us who are actually over 17, we'll just get a little bit creative with that. I'll say that I was born in 2003, which is obviously not the case. But again, just because they don't understand that necessarily that a student might be that age. So then you're going to put in the class code, and I will make sure to give you put in the link what the class code is every year. But you'll put in the class code, and then you'll select Find My Classroom. And you should see something that says Miss Kelso's Creative Writing Class. It may be Class 1 or Class 2, depending. But you're going to obviously look for one that says Miss Kelso's class, right? And if you see that, you're going to say, yes, join class. Now you're going to put in your email address. You can use whichever email address you want. It really doesn't matter. If you want to use your MGLVA address, you can totally do that. If you want to use a personal one, that is fine as well, okay? Now for your username, this I'm going to be a little bit more finicky on. I do actually want your username to be your first and last name. The username is what I see right away when I'm looking for like the word count and stuff. So in order for you to get credit for your word count, I need to know right away who it is. So I need your first name and your last name, because of course there's often, more than one person with that last name or with that first name. And even if you think there isn't, just, for my sake, put your first and last name. Now, one thing with the username is it won't let you put in a space. So that's why I use the underscore, or you could just combine it together. But first and last name. Now for your first name, you're obviously just going to put in your first name. Make sure you get the time zone correct. We are Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time for US and Canada, right? And then, of course, you have to hit the button that says Accept Terms and Conditions. And then you'll select Next. You're going to create a password. And then security questions, and of course I am going to make something up here because I don't want you to see my actual answers. But you're going to put in your questions and answers, and you're going to select Create an Account. And there you go. Now this is what your account should look like once you've created a new account. You will see the challenge up here in the corner. You will see the classroom. Again, it'll say Miss Kelso's Creative Writing Class. You're going to make sure that you see that. If you don't see my classroom, that means you logged into the wrong place, and I'm not going to see your hard work. So make sure that you have that. That's the basics. As far as the Take the Challenge, just so you know, if you are setting up this account before November 1st, you are not able to actually do this. I figured that out, unfortunately, before. I've tried to push it before January or before November, and nothing happens. So you have to wait till November 1st, but once that happens, you select Accept the Challenge, and now you're going to tell a little bit about the book. Type in a title, and it does tell you you can update those later, so if you pick a title and later decide, no, that wasn't what I was going to write, that's fine. Same with the synopsis. You can change that later as well. Now, it'll ask you here, where do you want to write? Will you write on the YWP site, or will you write elsewhere? You are going to select the top button but it's a lie, okay? You'll say you want to write on the YWP site because that's how it'll count your word count. What you're actually going to do is type your stories up separately in a Word document or Google Docs or something like that so that it's saved separately and then cut and paste into here. That way you've got the backup because you never know what a website's going to do. Always, always, always have backups. But you do need to select the top one in order for it to do the word count properly. And then you can pick as many different genres as you want. And then your word count goal. You're going to put in 9,000 words for your word count goal. Oh, I keep forgetting. When you put in your word count goal, you cannot put any commas or anything in there. So just put in 9000 and you hit Start Novel. And now you are ready to go. And I'll have another video for exactly how you start putting your information in there. But now you're set.